it's here. Ooh, it's here. Okay. There it is. Number 4.
I told you.
Oh, that cupboard looks even smaller.
You are a normal boy.
Oh my god. Oh, he's at school! Oh.
And you're going to start acting like one.
Hair was I wonder if that's when he ends up on the roof. Oh, the hair.
You think you're something special?
Monstrous woman.
There is nothing special.
Oh, Harry. Oh.
About you.
Watch an HBO original series.
I've always wanted to know about my parents.
Oh.
Your parents were the
Hagrid.
kindest, bravest people I ever met. They were
Nick
funny
Frost.
and clever.
Yes. And the
They
green
stood up
eyes.
for what they believed was right.
Thank you. The green eyes.
The next time I see you, we'll be in Hogwarts.
Oh, Molly. Oh, Catherine Ferguson. Oh, you were going to eat with that roll. What? Hogwarts looks incredible.
Mr. Potter, I think we can expect great things from you.
Oh my goodness.
Let's see who you are.
Oh my god. Oh, look at them being kids. Look at Hagrid being a kid.
Are you really Harry Potter?
That is the gift right there. All of our minds being. But what? Christmas this year? What? No way! Wow. Hey friends, welcome back to Potter Plus, your podcasting home for quite possibly the best Christmas present any Potterhead could have asked for in the year 2026. I'm your host, William, and I've got a great show for you today. Coming up a little later, I talked to Holly Dowidat of Dowidat Ceramics. I actually first encountered Holly at a Harry Potter festival where she was selling her ceramics. And since then, I've gotten to know her story, and how the wizarding world has been a wellspring of inspiration in her own creativity. It's an incredible conversation. I can't wait for you to hear it. But first, we have got to talk that trailer. On Tuesday of March 24th, HBO released the first teaser image from the series, simply with the caption, "Tomorrow," followed by a lightning bolt. The picture showed a shot of Harry from behind walking into the Quidditch Stadium with the Hufflepuff and Gryffindor banners hanging off the railings. Many speculated, even hoped, that this would be a trailer, but I think expectations were lowered to that of a teaser, maybe just a first initial glimpse, followed by a release date. However, the Potter fans, being the internet sleuths that they are, found that Nick Frost shared in the caption of his own story that the trailer was incoming, only to revise that, and that post wasn't to be found in what can only be considered a perfect Hagrid, "I shouldn't have said that" moment. From that moment on, for the next 24 hours, Trailer Watch began, complete with memes, GIFs, and even live stream waiting room watch parties.
Kit Harington, yes. Thank you guys. Is it
And
on
then
HBO?
it dropped.
No. It's fine. HBO. It's here! It's here! Oh my god!
And the reactions were everything.
Oh my god. HBO Max just dropped the new Harry Potter trailer, and as a massive superfan, this is my first reaction. Let's watch together.
The trailer has officially dropped for the new HBO Harry Potter series, and we're gonna watch it right now.
I've been waiting for this. Our first look at the new Harry Potter series. Let's go. HBO Max been cooking.
I told you.
It looks so much like. Oh man.
You are a normal boy.
Oh, he's at school. It's at school. We get to see him at
And
school.
you're going to start acting like one.
No.
The younger years of Harry. You see the lightning bolt?
You think you're something special?
Oh, little Harry.
There's nothing special
She holding scissors?
about you.
Oh, but there is.
Why are you stopping it?
You're already crying.
I'm emotional.
The letter.
Nostalgia woke, emotions soared, tears were shed, and then the twist no one saw coming.
Let's go, baby.
Christmas! Oh my god! Oh my
Christmas 2026. This year.
Christmas 2026.
Christmas 2026? What's Christmas 2026?
We're gonna get Christmas.
Get out.
Let's go. Oh.
So let's talk the trailer. If you are like me, you will have gone down every conceivable rabbit hole on the internet, breaking this trailer down frame by frame. I will simply give you my takeaways. First of all, this trailer shows the kids being kids. The heartwarming parts and the biggest counterpoints visually of the trailer occurred when it opened with Harry being bullied by Dudley, and it ended with Harry and Ron by the fire at Christmas. He's loved, he's cared for, and he's safe. Well, I mean, relatively. This is Hogwarts, after all. Visually, I am obsessed with Hogwarts. The trees integrated into the structure of the entrance hall, the amphitheater-like classroom, and the big majestic greenhouses remind me of like a mix of Hogwarts Legacy and even like the elven architecture of Rivendell, Lothlorien, and all of Middle-earth. And the 90s accurate setting being established from jump makes my millennial heart soar. Canonically, Harry was born in 1980 and turned 11 and therefore started Hogwarts in 1991. That time frame wasn't established really until Chamber of Secrets, when Nicholas Flamel had his 500th death day after dying in 1492. Side note, and I think I've said this before, but Chris Columbus, not including Flamel's death day in 1492, when his production company is 1492 Productions. I'm sorry, buddy, but swing and a miss. And I am completely and totally biased. A 90s childhood was the best childhood. Tech was analog and weird. Like games and video games that required perseverance, and there was no microtransactions to keep you playing endlessly. When you sat down for a movie, changing it was not 2 clicks on a remote. There was no social media. You could not use the internet and the phone at the same time. Imagination was everything. Anyway, I have watched this trailer dozens of times now, and to say that I am excited is an understatement. I will reserve judgment on performances and actors until I have seen the TV show, but Christmas can't come soon enough. But with that, we are going to cut to a break, and when we come back, you get to hear my conversation with Holly Dowidat Ceramics. We'll be right back. Well, Holly Dowidat, welcome to Potter Plus.
Hi.
For those of our listeners who may not be familiar with you, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
My name is Holly Dowidat. I'm from Fort Wayne, Indiana, and I am the owner and operator of Dowidat Ceramics, where I make some magical wares. This is one of our newest creations, and we do a lot of mugs, and a lot of the inspiration comes from like playing Hogwarts Legacy or being immersed around the Wizarding World, and just the fantasy in general. I've always grown up in fantasy.
Oh, yeah. So that's I think one of the things that drew me to just your overall aesthetic. We have been vendors at Fest together for how many years?
2.
Now, when did you start? It's been, so you've been there for about 2 years now.
Yeah, sadly, I wish I was there earlier.
Oh, I know. It's rest in peace.
I know.
Maybe just nap in peace. Hopefully it'll wake up a little bit later. So ceramics, I was reading, doing a little digging on your website there for you. You started out just ceramic sculpture,
I did.
and then you moved into throwing on the wheel. So what got you into ceramics to begin with?
So it all started when I was in Italy. I studied over there for about a month. I know, right? No. It
Flip
was
the
through
hair.
college. It was a great opportunity, and I was always told when you were young, travel. Just when you're young, just travel. Don't worry about the expense. We're all broke at age 20 plus until you hit your 30s. So just do it.
Right.
Just travel.
Yeah.
And I took a ceramic class over there for about a month and a half. And I was between ceramics and woodworking. And I realized that working in clay is actually cheaper than woodworking. And so I switched over to sculptural ceramics during my college undergrad years. And I studied animals, and I was really driven to dogs. So a lot of my sculptures were dogs with natural attributes. Like instead of fur, they had coral and seaweed. And so I created Poseidon. He's one of my largest dog sculptures. He's about 75 pounds, Doberman Pinscher. He's in my basement, but he's my award-winning pet as far as my
He's
work
not going
goes.
anywhere, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I took a class. I took a class up at the Michigan Art Center when I lived in Detroit with my now husband, but was boyfriend. And I started working at that center. And I was doing galleries before for about 5 years. And one thing about getting into the gallery scene is that you create these beautiful pieces, and if they don't sell, they actually have a expiration date. You can't show them after 3 years.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So it's like you almost have a trap to kind of create more and more and more. And then what do you do with these pieces? And you put all of this work into them. And so I wanted to keep my ceramic sculptural background, but I wanted to make things more functional. So that's why I started switching over to creating my woodland mugs, which got into one of my I love my woodland mugs, and
I do
it
too.
inspired after a lot of these style barrel mugs as well. So that kind of just snowballed into like, I'm going to make things that are functional, and that was kind of the pivot of my artistic journey.
There was I think there was a show out of BBC that was Make It to Market.
That sounds familiar.
It was hosted by a guy who works on The Repair Shop. Have you ever watched The Repair Shop?
I don't think so.
Oh goodness. If you want a like cozy AF show to put on in the background while you're drinking mugs and it's snowing outside, it's a bunch of these British tradesmen who all meet in this barn, and people bring in things that are broken. And each of them have an expertise. Like there's a clock guy, there's a woodworking guy, there's a ceramics artist who repairs old broken ceramics. There are the teddy bear girls. They will take an old, well-loved stuffy and they will bring it back to life. But one of them branched out, and he had one where he was like helping small businesses, like creatives, to kind of bolster their business. And he was talking about like showstoppers, like your Poseidon dog, but also your best sellers, which are things like you said, they're more functional, that they're more easily reproduced. They don't take dozens and dozens and dozens of hours to make. And walking into your booth for the first time, I just felt like a port key, like there was a hook behind my navel that just drug me into the booth. Just vibes on vibes for days inside of your booth. And it wasn't just the wizarding world. Like you could tell that there was a lot of maybe some like medieval D&D inspiration. There was also Lord of the Rings, Hobbit core inspiration going on in your booth. So you've been a big fantasy nerd?
I have my whole life. My dad was a big fantasy nerd. And, we grew up on Disney films, not knowing how evil they are. And I worked for the company. That's where I met my husband. So
really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Me and my husband met on the Walt Disney World College program, back in 2004.
I was going to say, I love a good love story. How did you meet?
So my roommate was dating one of his roommates. And so we would always go over to their apartment and hang out. And he was this geeky guy playing video games, and he had some artwork on the wall. And I was like, hey, I'm an artist. I want to meet other artists. And I was like, who's the artist? And he raised his hand, and we started chatting and talking about some of our favorite like materials, like prism, markers and Copics, and how we layer some of those markers with colored pencils, and we just kind of started hanging out. Realized he was from Detroit. I was from Angola. It's about a 2.5 hour drive. So we kept in touch.
Yeah.
And 7 years later, we started dating. And yeah.
My wife and I in college, we lived 2.5 hours apart. And because I lived in northern part of Kentucky and she lived basically as far east in Kentucky as you could go.
Okay.
And when we were like, well, this is gonna happen, but it was about a month before summer started. And I was like, ugh, we live 2.5 hours apart and we're broke college kids. And I don't know. Yeah, that lasted 3 weeks.
Wow.
Maybe into summer before we started dating, and well, 3 there. But yeah, there's for my daughter whenever it comes to fantasy, because she is just, my wife is Hobbit core Lord of the Rings, and I'm like Harry Potter like through and through. So love of fantasy, love of art, studied in ceramics. How does the inspiration from the wizarding world steep into your ceramics? Like, was that always a natural fit, or did it take you a while to get there?
No, it was a natural fit. I've always had this philosophy: if you really work against the current, then you're not doing it correctly. So if it doesn't feel right, then maybe put it on the back burner, and then and then come back to it and see if it fits later. Because you never want to work. I mean, I believe that there is magic in the world, that there is a sense of goodness, and so I kind of strive from that as well. Maybe it's a little naive for a 40-year-old to think that, but I'm just like, no, I'm sorry. I want to be a good person, and I want to make sure that the paths that I'm carrying and stepping are the paths that feel right to me. And so I applied that philosophy into my work. So if I feel like I'm going against the grain, then it's just something I'm not tackling this year, or something I'll come back to. Because as an artist and doing these events, I get so many people, have you thought about doing this? Or maybe you should do that. And it's like, that's a really good idea. And I'll write it down, and then I'll come back to it and kind of feel like if that will fit for this season. Because I work in seasons.
Yeah.
So
I was diagnosed with ADHD, like officially about a year ago. My wife says that she's always known. I went, what? How, what do you mean? She said, the first time that you told me that you drink coffee to level out, I'm like, oh, he's self-medicating with a stimulant. I went, oh. But that, like, write it down, come back to it philosophy is how I kind of keep my brain clear.
Yeah.
What drew you to the wizarding world specifically whenever it came to ceramics? Now, I mean, there's a lot of, like, famous beverages that are in the wizarding world that are kind of like easy wins there, but some of the stuff that you've made, I think one of my favorite pieces is just the little rectangular tray that has Hedwig on the top of it. It's just so subtle, and I've got it. It's sitting in there on my kitchen table right now as part of our center. What drew you to the wizarding world specifically?
Well, I've always been part of the Harry Potter fandom, and I kind of took a break when I came back from Disney. I took a break from remembering that world existed for some reason. I don't know if it was just because of the stress of college. I worked 3 jobs and went to school full time, that I just couldn't. That was the only thing I could focus on. I'm one of those people, if it's not in my face, then I kind of forget it exists, because I'm just trying to survive in that moment. But what really brought it back was my dad's passing, and I was going home a lot to visit my family, and my mom was clearing out the house. And at my old house, I painted this huge mural, probably the size of this wall, of the castle. And like, I never forgot about that, but it just kind of like, I missed that world. And so I kind of dived back into rereading and listening to the books. And then my husband's like, hey, for your 40th, let's take you down to Universal Studios, because you've never been. And I was like, well, how am I going to pay for this trip? and I love the world so much. I'm like, how am I going to pay for this trip? And so I was like, I'm going to make specific themed things for my trip. And that's kind of where it's like started. I didn't even know that Ironton was a thing. Donovan from Dragon's Chest was like, hey, you should do this event. And it was my first year. I was like, there's a whole different world out there that exists within the community, and I didn't even know this community existed. And now that I found it, I'm just like enthralled by all the magic that people create on their reels and Instagram, and the inspiration, the snowballing of like I can create more of the things that I enjoy from the world that don't exist. Because when I did go to Universal, I was like, man, I'm not very impressed with their ceramics. So I'm just like,
it has to,
I feel like I could do better.
Yeah, it has to be mass produced in that regard. And I know that there's a lot of tension in the Wizarding World fandom for a couple of different reasons. But one of my favorite like suggestions to people, that if they're like, how can I still express my love for this world? It's small creators, like it's small business owners who draw their inspiration from it. Like my big two focuses have been supporting small businesses and thrifting.
Yes.
Like, and that way my dollars go to a thrift shop owner, my dollars go to a small business creator, and it still allows you to kind of live and express yourself in that in that regard. No, I love that. There was a quote. I think everybody kind of goes through that that bit of a I don't want to say deconstruction because that sounds that's too
aggressive.
No, it's you kind of have to put things away for a while you're figuring out yourself and while you're figuring out what you're doing. But I had seen a quote from C.S. Lewis that said, critics who treat adult as a term of approval instead of merely a descriptive term cannot themselves be adult. To be concerned about being grown up, to admire the grown up because it is grown up, and to blush at the suspicion of being childish, these things are the marks of childhood and arrested development. And in childhood and adolescence, they are in moderations healthy. Young things ought to want to grow and to carry on into middle life or even to early manhood, this concern about being adult is a mark of really arrested development. When I was 10, I read fairy tales in secret because I was ashamed to have been found doing so. Now that I am 50, I read them openly. When I became a man, I put away childish things, including the fear of childishness and the desire to be very grown up. And I went through that same period where I read the first Harry Potter book when I turned 11, 3 days before reading Harry's 11th birthday in the first book. And because of, I think there was a lawsuit where somebody claimed to have written, I think it was Larry Potter, maybe
something. I remember that vaguely, actually.
It held up the third or fourth, I think. But I blitzed through the first two. And then because of the lawsuit and the delays for the next one, I aged up to Harry's age when that book came out and was Harry's age every subsequent year after it came out. Dark hair, green eyes, glasses, shaped scar in my head. Like, this is why representation matters.
Yeah.
Because I saw myself mirrored in the protagonist of a book, and it got its claws in me and hasn't let go since. So it was interesting to me that it was kind of like during a period of loss that it rekindled that for you, because there are lots of big themes of that throughout the series.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Harry's lamenting the loss of his parents throughout the entire series, but only read the first two books, so I'm not going to spoil anything else. But the loss and kind of that retrospective reflection that you have, it pushes you towards things that brought you comfort earlier on in life. But then revisiting this series, you went through your 20s, it kind of got put aside. What was it about the series when you came back to it as an adult? Was there anything that you with fresh eyes, you saw something new as an adult?
And as an adult, looking back at it, I think it had more of the memories of just what me and my dad enjoyed about the series together, and remembering those key points. Because like when the series came out, I actually was introduced to the first movie before the books. And so I was 16, I think, at the time. So I got introduced to the movie from a friend, and still best friend now. And she's like, you got to read the books. I'm like, wait a minute, there's books? And then so I got into this obsessive disorder of just collecting. And I still have like a lot of the old trivia games from the first before they even casted. Like I have I have the Birdie Bots bag, and like I started collecting things way prior to it actually being a huge franchise. And then again, life got busy, and then revisiting it as an adult, it was more like that connection that Harry lost his parents and I lost mine. And it was kind of like, wow, like how do you go from not knowing your parents and becoming the person who you are? And then that was that connection that, you know, even though like he saw the bad in his dad, and so through the pensive, I'm not trying to spoil either, but
you're in. Okay.
You know, I thought like, okay, you know, we put our parents almost on this pedestal. And that's something that was really related to Harry. He put his dad on this pedestal, and, you know, through the loss of it, you kind of want to remember what the good that people say during that loss. And I don't know if that was more of a connection of like, hey, like, that's not the whole person. We've all done good and bad. Doesn't mean that, you know, we didn't grow from it or became a better person. And I think that was a kind of that struggle with the loss and that connection of that. I mean, to be honest with you, 2020 was a really rough year for my whole family. We lost 12 loved ones.
Oh my God.
My husband lost his sister the same year, and that struggle, it was like there was so much loss that I was like grasping onto anything that was magic and pure. I mean, the story itself and the mythologies, you know, where they came from, those are things that were related to me when I was younger, and I was just kind of grasping onto some good at that time because I had lost my part-time job, which is substitute teaching. We just bought our house. Like there was so much uncertainty of the world, and things were just kind of coming at me and my husband sideways. You know, we got married the year before. We found a house, you know, in 2019. And he was still in Detroit for almost the whole year of the pandemic because his job became essential. And my job became unessential, being a substitute teacher, because there was barely teachers. So I was like, okay, now I have my studio, and what am I going to do? I just immersed myself into the books, into that world and that fantasy, and then worked really hard. And that's kind of where that peril kind of came. Like, I almost felt like I was battling like Voldemort with all of the uncertainties of the world. Like,
no,
book 7 really hit hard for me because it was that.
Had viewing it through the lens of like losing your dad. I've been viewing it through the lens of like 1 and the sacrifices that the parents made, and like Molly Weasley is goat and justified. Like, I fully understand all of her worries now. I think I've wanted to leave for her, and like the impression of me that I want to leave for her is the world is too mean and life is too short for you to not love what you love loudly.
Yeah.
I fully believe that the second half of my life began whenever I stopped what anyone thought of me. I legitimately stopped, and I'm going to love what I love loudly. And that is either going to attract you or it's going to repel you. And if you see this crazy and you gel with this crazy, then like a ride or die best friends, let's go. But if you're like, ooh, I don't know about that, I bless and release. I hope the universe treats you well. We're not going to be a good fit. And for her, I guess I love Harry Potter. I always have. I love it really loudly for her because she's going to go through a period where she's going to be really cognizant and put way too much creed in what other people say and what other people think. And I always want it to be in the back of her mind that, wow, Daddy wore that night bus shirt a lot. Or, wow, Daddy spoke in that crazy British accent a lot. And that's what I want to take like into her adulthood.
I think it's those memories, you know, if we could have a pensive of our own, what memories would we want to pull out and keep safe
and revisit,
you know, and pass those memories on? Like, there's some things that you just want to remember.
Yeah, this whole podcast has been in anticipation of the new HBO show coming. What are your thoughts?
So
Just
I
in
am
general, are you
not
excited?
Bringing
nervous?
out the pitchforks or anything like that. I'm actually a little excited for it. As an artist and as an artist that sees things get recreated all the time, I mean, you see that within the span of art. And this is just another depiction of that art that I can see and seeing where they're coming from. I'm excited that they're casting like Peeves, things that we have not really seen in the story.
Professor Ben.
Yes. Like those really show merit of the story and what's going to be hopefully retelling. I don't want to judge anybody's acting until I actually see it on the screen, because that is just, it's not giving the actor, their advantage or, giving them a chance,
Yeah.
I mean, sure, if I was to sit there and cast it, I would cast it completely different than the next person. And that's just kind of how I take it. So I'm excited to see how they're going to portray everything.
I am too. And, Brad Baird, one of the co-creators and head honcho of Ironton Wizard Fest, he had said something that's really stuck with me, where if your sacred cow, like your favorite thing, gets redone, or gets a sequel, or gets a spinoff, your thing is still there.
Yes.
That you are adding to your favorite thing. You are getting more of your favorite thing. And it will do one of two things. If it's not very good, it will reinforce how good your favorite thing is.
Mm-hmm.
But if it is good, then you get more.
Yeah.
And that has always kind of stuck with me. I'm like, you're right. Like, if my favorite movie is getting remade and they absolutely nail, like the live action How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah.
There's no way. That movie is just so good. How are they going to pull that off in live action? And I remember getting the alert from my watch that's like, hey, buddy, you don't appear to be active, but your heart rate's over 110 beats per minute during test flight, during Hiccup's flight on Toothless. And I left that going, he nailed it. He did it. He nailed it. Favorite thing, got a remake, and it collectively made the whole thing better. So I'm really excited about it.
Sorry.
Okay. That's okay. I love it. I love it.
Traditional cuckoo clock for my dad.
Kristen really wants one. So I've been trying to keep an eye out on Marketplace and eBay and Craigslist for one that just speaks to me for her. So we're gonna have one in the house here at some point.
They're very hard to keep on time, so you have to have a lot of patience with them.
I mean, they're literally called cuckoo clocks. So them being a little wibbly wobbly with time, I think is right on brand.
It is.
Well, Holly, thank you so much for joining me and for nerding out and
absolutely
talking about your inspiration and talking about the wizarding world with me. Where can people find you? Where can people connect with you?
So they can connect with me on my Facebook at Dowidat Ceramics. My Instagram is the same, and that is DOWIDAT.ceramics. And my website is the same. It's just Dowidat Ceramics. Or you can just Google Dowidat Pottery on the Google search engine, and I'm the only one out there, which is another reason.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's another reason why I took that, because it's a very unique last name, and nobody's doing what I'm doing with this last name.
Yeah.
So, so it makes it really easy. And then I'm just going to put a little plug in here if you don't mind.
Absolutely. Go for it.
Yes. So we're going to be creating these personalized mugs. They're little owls. And
it's going to, are you going to put their name on the...
Yep, the name on the bottom of the envelope. So I'm hoping to have these available for pre-purchase in March.
For pre-purchase in March.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm kind of changing the eyes. I actually added for the new mugs. I added a little yellow, so they're kind of looking up a little bit, kind of cutie style. So
when you're drinking it, they're glancing over their shoulder at you. Yeah. Well, I did not plan this at all, but whenever you do launch that, I'll give one away to our listeners here on the podcast too. So instructions to enter that giveaway will be down in the description box, and I'll post it on Instagram whenever they come out too.
Thank you.
Well, Holly, thank you so much, and thank you for coming on Potter Plus.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
And that's a wrap on this episode. Thank you again, Holly, for joining me. That was such a fun conversation. And if you haven't already, go follow her on Instagram. I'll link her Instagram handle down in the description box below. And if you aren't following me on Instagram, come hang out. I need somebody to geek out about that TV show trailer with. Potter Plus is a production of the Grapefruit Network. If you want to find out more about this show, you can visit us at potterplus.show. And to find out more about the other shows inside of our network, visit us at thegrapefruitnetwork.com. That's it for this one. I'll see you in the next one. And remember, you are just as sane as I am.